themselves, that will be perfect. If you have any questions, please do drop it in the Q&A section or just in the chat. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself in the chat as well. Say why you're here and what you're hoping to accomplish from tonight. And also tell us where you're joining us from, because it's always really lovely to meet new people. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hannah Brewster, and I am the Community and Impact Manager here at NEO. And tonight, we are here to discover what it actually means to be a product manager. And we're joined by the lovely Olabimpe, who is going to take us through a typical day in her life, in her work life, her core responsibilities, her collaboration with different teams, and talk about some of the challenges and problems that she faces in her role. She's also going to talk about tools and methods that help her drive success. And then we're just going to explore her career journey and lessons that she's learned so far. If you have any questions, again, we're going to save that to the end of the session. Drop them in the chat, drop them in the Q&A session, and we will ask them, okay? Also, during the Q&A session, if you would like to speak up and come on camera, please feel free to do that as well. Additionally, if you're not already following us, please do follow us. Follow us on Instagram at NeoLabs, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, which is at Neo Bootcamps. And you can also join our WhatsApp community where you can stay up to date with the latest going on at Neo. So please join me as I welcome Olabimpe to the stage so that she can deliver her session. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so that you can share yours.
Hi, Olabimpe, we're struggling to hear you. I think there's a bit of a lag.
Are you
Still
muted?
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Are you?
I think it's
Yes, we can.
okay now. It should be okay now. There's a lag. All right. All right, sir. So good evening,
I can hear you in a
everyone.
whisper.
Oh, good
Okay.
day.
Say something.
Yeah, wherever you're listening from. Thank you, Anna. I really appreciate this opportunity. Honestly, it's amazing, and thank you. I really appreciate this. Oh, really? Oh, it's lagging, really.
Hi, Olabimpe, there's a massive lag on your end.
Yeah, there is a huge lag. And now it's like you're whispering. Let's just pause for technical difficulties, guys. Just bear with us. Maybe the lag is coming from you sharing your screen. Maybe I should share it off from my side. Let's try it that way. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull up your presentation. Okay. All right, she's more than likely going to rejoin the session. Well, not more than likely, she's definitely going to rejoin the session. Let's hope that her connection is stronger when she comes back. Please, guys, introduce yourselves, say hi, tell us where you're joining us from, where you're listening in. I can see here we have okay, so we have Andy, who is an incoming product owner, amazing, looking to become the head of product and solution architect. Wow. 10 years experience in IT and realize not only that technology is the future, but more humane technology is out. Love it. Absolutely true.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I just enjoy now.
I'm sorry, who's speaking?
Nice to meet you, Gisty. I just really enjoy you now.
Okay, thank you. Can you put yourself on mute, please? That's not Ola, is it? Ola, are you back with us?
Hey, Hannah, I don't think she is just yet.
So this screen here is her sharing. Yes, she is here.
All right,
Hi,
great.
Ola, we
So,
can hear you.
Good evening, everyone. Good day. Yeah, so I'm Oladimeji Olabimpe, and I really want to appreciate Neo Labs for this opportunity, and it's an amazing one. I've been looking forward to this opportunity, and thank you, Hannah. It's been wonderful speaking with you back end, and I'm really looking forward to a great and amazing time with everyone today. So, a little bit about myself. I'm actually a certified Scrum Master and an Agile Product Manager. All these, I discovered that have actually helped me in becoming a better product manager. When I started this journey, I didn't know there was something called a product manager. I didn't know there was something called product management. And the truth is, it's the common thing now. Most people know about project management, but when it comes to product management, people are lost. People don't really know what it all entails. And it's an amazing field. It's an interesting field, especially if you're the type that loves doing things, you're critical, you want to know more about why something is being done, you want to just bring a solution to something, or to an environment. So it's a versatile role, and most people are getting used to it now. All right, so that's a little bit about me. Now, like I said, I have worked on different digital products, from health to education and to small business platforms, especially startups. I've worked with startups and I've worked with big companies, tech companies, and that's the beauty of being a product manager. You're not bottled in just the job descriptions. You can expand as much as you want to. So tonight I will want to take you through what happens behind the scene, and not just the polished look you see on LinkedIn, or maybe the job descriptions that we all read and all, but I'm going to show you how I actually work with developers and designers, and the challenges I face, and the core skills and tools that help me get things done, the growth opportunities I've explored, and a bit of my personal journey into tech, especially as a woman navigating a field where not many people that look like me are in the beginning. All right, so let's get it going. Now, how did I start being a product manager? My story is very interesting, maybe to me, but maybe at the end of the day, you will understand why I said it's interesting, because I actually started from curiosity. I was just that little girl that wanted to explore or maybe bring a solution to an environment. Now, I started as a baker. I'm a teacher by profession, but that didn't affect my decision or my product line or my product thinking in the initial stage. But I started when I got married some few years ago. That was about 2003, and I was in Abuja, Nigeria. I had already learned how to bake from a family friend, and I got to Abuja and I saw that, okay, this is a problem that needs to be solved. And I didn't want to just do it, like just bake anyhow cake. I wanted to do it well. I had an idea, but I wanted it to be well done. I don't know if I wanted something beautiful to come out of my idea. I didn't want to just do it the way every other person has been doing it. So I wanted to grow in it. I wanted to develop myself as a baker. And I started looking for where to train to be a professional baker. And I went round Abuja. I'm not kidding you. I went round and I didn't get anyone to train me. And that's brought something in my mind. I was like, this is a gap. This is a real gap that needs to be filled. But I wasn't prepared to fill that gap because it wasn't my intention at that moment. What I wanted to do at that moment was I wanted to learn. That was a problem. That was a user experience. That was a pain point. So I wanted to do that, but I didn't get a solution. And I actually did my best to move around and get a solution, but I never did. And in 2009, I decided to launch my cake business after different experiences back and forth. I was able to now gain I did my personal training. I did some self-taught and all. So in 2009, I was ready. And when I launched my cake business, I didn't just want to sell. I wanted to teach, because I felt that was a gap that was not met when I started. So when I started teaching, I discovered that even as a professional, most people could not actually calculate their costs. Most bakers could not calculate their cost. Most bakers were just baking, and home bakers and all, they were just doing things the way, there was nothing regularized. And I felt that was another gap. So the first thing I did was, I had students already. So the first thing was to create, I created a formula. And that formula, to the best of my knowledge, was the first product I would start with. So I just started with it, nothing fancy. What I did was just a formula that they could go in with. So I did, if you're working with 250 grams of butter, this is this. I just aligned it and I gave them the formula and gave them assignments to go on with. So with time, I discovered that was actually my first product, but it wasn't anything fancy. Then I went to, after that in 2020, I just want to tell you the story because it's going to act as a basis for everything I'm going to teach today. In 2020, there was lockdown. And in 2020, there was lockdown and everybody started teaching again, online and all. But people were using WhatsApp, people were using Telegram. But because of my background in education, I knew that I had to protect my intellectual property, and I decided to register on the platform. So that was how I started online classes, where I was able to, but it was a little bit expensive for me. There was no reason why I would pay that much. I was paying in dollars to just get a month class and all. But I knew I needed to put my intellectual property in a secure place, and also I wanted to protect my brand, and also I considered the user experience. So those were the things. Those were the things that drove me and drove my decisions then. So I started. Now, note, I didn't know I was already producing. I never knew it was a product still, because I was just doing it myself. But in that same 2020, I looked at the costing, I looked at the formula I'm giving, and I thought, okay, I could work with a financial analyst, which I did. And we came up with a spreadsheet. I came up with a spreadsheet, and I made it go viral. I publicized it. It wasn't only now to my students, but to the general public. And that was amazing, because I got loads of feedback, and that made me know that I was actually doing something right. So I knew I was already meeting a gap. There was a gap, and I was meeting up with the gap, and I was so excited. So that was where I started. That was really, really where I would say that my product thinking started. So I had the mindset, and even though I didn't have the title. So I'm trying to share this because we are women, and maybe we are coming from an on the Z background. Maybe you're a business person. So I don't want you to think that you must be a technical person before you can think you can have a product mindset. So I had the mindset, and I found my lane. Eventually, when I found out there was a real career where people did actually do all these things, and it's called product management, I was really happy. And then I found my lane. I also recognized that my products were actually products. They were not just, I wasn't just playing. So that was how it started. Now I needed to actually be professional about it. So in that, I knew I needed to transition from whatever I was doing into tech. So that was when I started, and I started as a Scrum Master. Now, I didn't know there was anything. I wasn't sure of the product management role, but I was sure of the product owner role. So I was very sure of that. But I didn't want to go into that. I looked at the Scrum Master role and the Agile coach role, and it was quite interesting, and it looked like me. And it looked like me, and I really wanted to be a Scrum Master. So I started. So along the line, I became a product manager, because I started seeing that this is exactly what I've been doing, and this is what I really want to continue doing. So I transitioned into a product manager. And the beautiful thing about that is that there's no way you will be a product manager that you will not talk about being agile. You won't talk about agile. You won't talk about agile methodology. You won't talk about being a Scrum Master, or maybe you won't talk about Kanban. Different frameworks. There's no way. So it was like I was being prepared at the initial stage for the future. So that was how I started. Now, I've explained to you my story. You understand my story. So I didn't start from that very techie background. No. And that's it. You don't have to be techie to be a product manager. And that's what we're trying to explain today. Now, who is a product manager? A product manager is the visionary. Is the visionary leader guiding a product success and empowering the cross-functional team that continuously improves it. The simplest way I always explain being a product manager to people is explaining that if there's an orchestra and you're the conductor, or there is a ship and you're conducting the ship, right? I won't say you're not doing anything. You're just the one bringing everything together. And that makes it dynamic. That makes it that makes it, well, I say broad. So that's because some few days ago, I was talking with one of my mentors, and we just literally said, in as much as product manager looks like a role everybody will be able to do, it's also a very dynamic role. It's also a very encompassing role. So you're the one bringing everything together. You're the conductor. I think that simplifies it. So you serve as the bridge, the vital bridge connecting user needs and business objectives and the technical execution. So now you have like 3 phases. You have the users. You have to be considerate. You have to really understand the pain point of the users. You are the mind of the user. You are the lens of the user. You are the mouth of the user, and also the business objective. Because there's no roadmap you're going to draw. There's no strategy without the business objective, without the business vision. There is a vision that everybody has, and you must be able to coordinate the vision with the user's needs. And now the technical execution. We have the stakeholders have your clients, they have the vision they want to create, they have an app they want to create, the users have their needs, but the technical execution depends on some people. And this is where the technicality comes in, and this is where the collaboration comes in. This is where the cross-functional team comes in. You need to work collaboratively with the technical team. The truth is, most of our products cannot be out there without the technical crew. And that is the truth. The technical team, you just have to work with them. So you are the connecting factor. You are the one that glues everybody together. Right. So I hope I'm communicating. I'm trying to look at the time and still be able to share everything at the same time. All right. So what are the core responsibilities of a product manager? The first thing is that your users are they are the ones that they are your director. Yeah, I will say it that way, because the user, the pain points, the pain points, the problem is what will bring the solution. So if there is no problem, if you don't understand the problem, there won't be any solution. So you must understand the problem. As a product manager, you talk to users through interviews, through surveys, and through usability testing. And also you gather feedback, pain points, and unmet needs. So you can see that you have a lot to do with the users. If users abandon their shopping carts, it's your duty as the PM to investigate why has this happened. So is it the price, is it the navigation, or is it that they don't really understand what to do? Right? So you as a PM, you're the coordinating factor there. Now, also you are the one that defines the vision and the strategy. You define the division and the strategy. The company has a strategy, they have a vision, they have something they want to achieve, but it's your duty as the PM to now craft the product vision. What are we building and why? You're bringing down the very wide vision to your product vision. You're connecting your products with the company's vision. I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. So the company has a vision to do this, but now what is the aim of the product I'm producing? So you craft the product vision, and also you align the product goals with the business goals. And you create a roadmap that outlines priorities and release plans. So now, what are the priorities? What are the features that should be released on time? What is the roadmap? We are going here. How do we get there? The release plans. How do we want our features to be released? So you for instance, the first quarter, we want to ensure that our mobile optimization, because 70% of users come from phones but bounce early. You have something you want to do in the first quarter, the second quarter, quarter two, quarter three, you have something you want to do. So that's one responsibility of a product manager. Also, you're the one that works across teams. You work across teams. You're working with the designers to make sure features are user friendly. Now, a designer wants to do something beautiful. Designers are not graphic designers. So when we talk about designers, we're talking about UI UX, that's users experience and user interface. So they are the ones that create the interface of your app or maybe of your products with the user. So they want something so beautiful. Now, as a PM, yeah, the aesthetics matter to you, but you're looking at the user friendly. Will my user be able to use this? So you're the one collaborating with the designers. You're working with the developers to ensure what's being built is technically feasible. The developers might want to do something that is easy on their own parts, but it might not be something feasible technically. So you're the one that also collaborates with the developers. Now, the marketing team, you cannot push them aside because they are the ones that will launch the product. They are the ones that will position the products to the public. The sales and support, you work with the sales and support to train and equip teams to tell them, okay, this is what the product is all about. And most especially, you work with stakeholders. The stakeholders, anybody that has a stake, that's interested in the product. So if you're working with your clients, the person that has the vision, you're working with them directly. They are the ones that will tell you that, okay, this is what we want to do. And then you have to go back and brainstorm with the team and see how this product will come to pass and will be produced anyway. All right. So another one is you own the product life cycle. So as a PM, the product life cycle is your baby. The product is your baby. I think that's the way you see. That's why some people say that a PM is the CEO of, they say the CEO of a product. But that looks too vague or maybe too much for me. I would say the product is your baby. So you're the one that owns the product life cycle. That's from ideation, from where the idea comes in to the release and to the iteration, because you have to iterate, you have to try, is it working, take it to the market, bring it back and see, adjust things. So you oversee the journey from idea to building, to testing, to release, and to iterate. And also you use feedback and data post-launch to refine all pivots. Now, that's another angle where, as a product manager, you need to be a little bit broad. So here you might do a little bit of data analysis, and you must understand your data. You must be able to check your dashboard and see, okay, this is happening. What should we do as a team to get this resolved? Also, you ensure products deliver value, stay usable, and evolve with the market. And you measure success, because there's no products out there if you can't measure the product, if you can't measure the success, if you don't have a KPI, then or OKRs, then you might not be able to measure your metric. You might not have a metric to measure your success. You must be able to measure, okay, how do we know that this product is actually doing well in the market? You also monitor user engagement, retention, and satisfaction. This is where churn rates comes in. Are people actually starting to, they start with the authentication, but they don't go ahead with your product? You just have to watch And that's where you have to watch what happens, the event of things. And that's where data actually works at the same time. Also, you use tools like Google Analytics, Mixpanel, you can see your data at once. And also you can also track outcomes. Right. So you balance the needs, user needs, business needs, technical constraints, and make tough decisions, what to build now, what to build later, and what not to build at all. That's why where you prioritize. So you as a product manager, you're the one that will be able to prioritize. You work with a team, you know, but you have to make that tough decisions, because sometimes the designer really wants a very lovely design to come on stage, and you're like, oh, this is not really what we need at this time. And even sometimes the clients, that's the stakeholders, really want a feature. They want things to really look, the aesthetics is what attracts them, and they want it to really be. But you as a PM, you have the right, or it's your duty to actually explain why this shouldn't be. So what a PM is not. A PM is not a developer, and that is where we get it wrong. A PM is not a developer, because sometimes people that have the technical background, maybe someone that has the computer engineering background, who was a software developer, becomes a PM, now tries to tell the developer what to do. I will tell you from my little experience that developers wouldn't like this. So you are not developers. So even if you do not have a technical background, that's why you can actually strive in this field, because you're not the one developing. But the tricky part is you must understand tech. You must understand IAP, how it works. You must understand how backend and front end work. You must understand what a designer does. So you're not a designer, but you champion the user experience. You're the one that'll be like, oh, the designer has given you something, but you're like, will my user be able to use this easily? So you are not the designer, but you must be able to understand user experience. You're not a boss. And that's why I always tell people, but you must lead with influence. There's this saying that we do not lead by authority, we lead by influence. So you brainstorm with every member of your team, and you get the result. Now, another thing, you're not a project manager. Most people think you're a project. When you talk about project manager, people just think it's a project manager. No, you're not a project manager. But you are the one, you manage timelines, you manage priorities. Okay, we need to achieve this. This feature should be released between now and now, within this time, this period and the other period, and you prioritize features. So in short, a product manager ensures the right product gets built in the right way for the right people and with the right impact. So it's about making small decisions, aligning teams, and delivering value to users and the business alike. All right. Now, a day in the life of a product manager. I will say this here, that this is a true reflection of what my day is. But there's no, there are no 2 days that are the same. But this is a typical day in the life of a product manager. So the first thing is a morning stand-up. Now, it also depends on the project you're working on. The way I function, I work on different products, on different projects. So sometimes I have something different from this, but this is a typical illustration of what my day should be and has always been. All right. So the first thing I do in the morning is to have a morning stand-up, because that's apart from my own personal preparation, getting ready, I check mails, I just check my dashboard, I do every other thing. But the first thing I do officially is to have a morning stand up. And that's if you're working with if you're working in a scrum team, it's meant to be daily scrum meeting, which is every day, and it shouldn't last more than 15 minutes. But it depends on the company you're working with, because see, these days people the framework, people are trying to balance it. Some people use Kanban, some people use Kanban, some people use Scrum. So, and some people try to balance the two. So did they usually start with a stand up? This is where we ask questions like, what are you doing? What did you work on yesterday? What did you ask everybody in the development team, what did you work on yesterday? What are you doing today? And if there's any blocking, any blockade, anything blocking them, anything stopping them from achieving what they need to do. So for a PM, I wear my blocker hat here because sometimes maybe the user story is not well explained or self-explanatory. You might have to explain and make it clear. Maybe there's an unclear requirement or a pending design, or maybe a design that is not everybody understands. Not everybody understands how it's going to work. So this is where we need to actually make it clearer and unblock any blocker on the way of any of the team members. So I make it my mission to fix that before it slows down the team, because if you don't attend to any blocker, it might actually delay whatever we need to do. So sometimes it just means to chat people up. I chat the designer, I chat the developer. You know, it could even mean calling the stakeholders to clarify business expectations, because sometimes we need to really understand. And if the team, if the developer doesn't really understand the business expectation from the stakeholders' point of view, we might not be able to achieve what we need to achieve. So it might mean I might need to rewrite a ticket or a user story to just, you know, make it right and make it understandable. So I do this. That's the first thing I do. So I ask 3 questions, but it's not, the truth is, it depends on the project you're working on and the company you're working on at that moment. So basically you ask, what did you do yesterday? What have you been able to achieve? What are you doing today? And is there anything blocking you achieving all that you need to achieve? Now, by 10:30 a.m., it could be any other time, but I review my Jira board, which is very important for me after the stand-up meeting. I spend time reviewing our Jira board. Now, Jira, it depends on the company. You could be using Trello, you could be using Linear, but most companies use Jira because, and if you can use Jira, you can use any other board. Is the same thing. So this is where I make sure everything is still aligned with our sprint goals. So our sprint usually is always between 1 week or four weeks. So are we working on the right priority features? Is there any scope creep? Is the stakeholder bringing in another scope different from what we had from the original, at the inception? Do we need to move things around based on blockers? So I check my Jira board, and with the Jira board, you can, we'll still go deeply into it later, the tools. So with the Jira board, you can actually see what a developer is doing. You can see the stage where the work is at. Now, by 2 p.m., I literally have a stakeholder or user interviews. I have a stakeholder sync or user interview. So it depends on what I need to do. It depends on the situation of things. So in the afternoon, I usually speak with someone outside the core team. So if I'm working on a product and I think, I need to talk with someone, with a user to really understand their pain point, this is the time I call. And sometimes I might actually need to call a stakeholder to translate product updates. to translate product updates into business outcome. I want to understand more. Here's what we've built. Here's how it ties into the business goal. Here's what we need to keep going. So I walk around the afternoon just to speak with different people and to understand what needs to be done or what needs to be improved on the product. And in the evening is a time of reflection for me. Before I close the day, I check what worked, what didn't work, and what documents I need to clarify. I just, it's a time for me to think of what to do. I also try to give shout out to the team when I can. Even a quick well done on Slack is very important. So you just keep the team moving, because if you really don't do it as a PM, nobody will do it. It's just the obvious thing there. If you don't keep the team going, you're the one unifying the team. So if you don't do that, you won't really be able to, you won't be able to keep the team together. So sometimes I just say, well done team, just on Slack and all. And in the evening is the strategy or sprint planning. This is where I slow down and think big picture. So sometimes I just work on my PRD. PRD is the product requirement document. This is where your product, what does your product, what do you want to achieve? Sometimes it's mapping out features for the next sprint, and sometimes it's just on that particular product you're working on at the moment. How do we break it down for the team? This is where strategy meets execution. So this I do in the evenings, and it just makes me think wider about the product and think about what could be done better on the product. Right. The tools I use. I don't know if there are questions. I know there will be questions, but we could always ask at the end. I'm trying to rush through so that we can have an idea of what everything is, then we'll be fine. All right. So the tools I use as a product manager, I use Figma, and that's my design playground. I play a lot on Figma. Sometimes I just play around with it. I'm not a designer. That's the truth. I'm not a designer, but I need to understand what tool the designer use. And that's the beautiful thing, the interesting thing about being a PM. So my design is my design playground. I'm not a designer, but Figma makes it easy to review wireframes, to drop comments and collaborate visually. So a designer is working on the interface. He uses a Figma, or he uses a Figma board, and you can collaborate, you can ask questions, you can drop comments, you can, you just see what is there. You see what is being, you see what the product will look like. Yes, it walks you through user flows with the design team, and also you can suggest tweaks based on user experience. Maybe you see that, oh, this will not really work for this product, let's do it this way. And also it helps you to test what the screen will feel like for the user. It's also super helpful when I need to explain something to a stakeholder. So I'm not just telling a stakeholder that the user will do this, do that. I have a board in front of me, and I'm telling them, okay, this is what you need to do with it. This is what the user will do with it. Right. So that's Figma. That's how I use Figma. And also Jira. I work with Jira a lot. I think Jira and Linear are the two that I really work with. You can work with Trello. Trello is also very good because it helps me to actually visualize easily. Yeah. So Jira helps me to organize my day. It helps me to organize the work for the development team. Everybody knows the tasks they are doing. So you assign tasks. The designer knows that, okay, this is the task that has been assigned to me. The front-end developer knows that this is the task that has been assigned to me. And everybody just, the back-end knows that this is the task that is assigned to me. So everybody knows what to do. So Jira breaks down work into manageable tasks, prioritized based on value and urgency, and also track progress. You can open your Jira board and you can see the product backlog, you can see the sprint backlog, you can see what you need to do on the product as a whole and what you need to do on the product at that moment, or maybe for that sprint. So it's not just a task board, it's our shared brain for what's been built and why. So it's our shared, all of us were working on it and we can see everything. Notion and Confluence, this is where I document. I document a lot. Apart from using Notion and Confluence, I also use my Jotter. So I have, but Notion just helps me well. I document my meeting notes, my product requirements, my user research insights, my sprint planning documents. I do these on Notion. Like I always tell people, I'm a visual person. I want to see it. If I don't see it, it's always difficult for me to actually articulate or to actually understand what I'm doing. So as a PM, clarity is everything, and these tools help me keep things clear for everyone, right? Another tool that I use that I didn't put here is Slack, but I didn't put it because it's an organizational tool. It's like an office, so that's why I didn't really put it there. It's an office. So for a development team, it's actually advisable to use Slack, especially if you're working in a remote team. Even if you're not working in a remote team, it's just is a tool that most teams work with. Yeah. So who I work with, I think I've explained all that from the beginning, but I'll just talk about it. Now, product managers don't work alone. You don't work alone. And we thrive on collaboration. So if you're the type that wants to be on your own, you don't really want to, you might have to come out of that. I don't want to say you might not thrive as a product manager, but I want to tell you that you have to come out of that shell. One of the things I love most about being a product manager is that you are at the center of everything, but you don't do everything. You don't do everything alone. You have people working. Things are going on and you're moving. You work across departments, personalities. You're working with different personalities. You're working with different priorities. Your front-end developer has a priority. Your back-end developer has a different priority. And you're just bringing everything together. And sometimes you even work with different time zones. Like sometimes I walk through the night because maybe the back-end developer, that's the time he has the opportunity based on time zone. That's the only time he can work. So I don't have a choice than to work during that time. And while that can be challenging, it's also what makes the role so rich and rewarding. Now I work with designers. Designers, like I said, designers are people who make ideas tangible. So they define the user journeys. They ensure screens are intuitive and accessible. Just look at your phone, the iPhone, your laptop, all the tabs, all the things you click, it's done by a designer. They are amazing people. They're amazing people. So ensure screens are intuitive and accessible. They balance functionality with beauty. And that's it. They are the ones that make it, wow, I like the way WhatsApp is. I like the way iPhone is. I like the way, that's the work of a designer. So I give them context on the user and the problem. You just tell them this is what we need to do. This is the issue with the user. These are the problems. And we brainstorm and we bounce ideas, test wireframes, and refine flows until it feels right. So sometimes at the initial stage, it doesn't feel right, but at the end of the day, it feels right. I also work with developers, the engineers, so the front end and the back end. They're the ones that write the codes. They are the ones that write clear tickets. And I write clear ticketing tools like Jira. I clarify the edge cases and acceptance criteria. Okay, for this feature to be to be accepted, this is the acceptance criteria. If it doesn't go through this acceptance criteria, then it's not done. So I prioritize tasks for each sprint with them. I don't tell them how to build. I don't even know how to build, but I explain what the problem we're solving, and they help figure it out and how best to build it. And you can actually get a lot from your developers. And also work with marketing and content team. I think it's lagging. Okay. Hello.
You're okay.
Yeah,
Keep
all right.
going.
Yeah, okay then. So marketing and content, I work with marketing and content. They are the ones that will market the products. You are the ones that will on social media, they're going to promote the product. They're the ones doing all that. And they're very important. And also I work with the customer support and sales, because they are the ones, even before I could see something on my dashboard, they are the ones that will tell me, oh, it seems the users are not pleased with this particular feature, something is happening. Then you can now go check on your dashboard and you will understand what is going on. So it's very important working with these people, and also working with the stakeholders. The stakeholders will share their visions, they will share what they want to actually achieve. Then it's your duty to now probe them further, and also go back with the development team to have to brainstorm. Brainstorming sometimes take hours. It doesn't have to be a meeting, it could even be a chat. Email is good, but I always say something about emails. Sometimes people don't really even understand the message you're trying to pass across through emails, but I work with emails a lot, and it's one thing I check every day. I check every minute. Let me not say every day, because never can tell the message that is coming in. But I also value one-on-one meeting. I value workshops. I value calls, because sometimes you have to call to actually understand better. There are challenges. It's not just about sticky notes, because sometimes you just see sticky notes and to do, done, and in progress and all. It's not about that. There are challenges, real PM life, real PM face. And when people imagine the life of a product manager, they often picture colorful birds, brainstorming session, you're just talking, you're just having meetings. Some people even believe PMs are secretaries, they just go to meetings, they have to be in all the meetings and all, or maybe launching new features and all. But the truth is, while it can be exciting, it's also layered with tough decisions, uncomfortable conversations, and gray areas. Uncomfortable conversations because not everybody will understand the pain point of the users. So you are the one bringing it to them, to the team, and you want them to actually understand. And sometimes you have to take some tough decisions. Your front end is saying, oh, this feature is going to be a little bit difficult for us to achieve, but you feel this is the best for the user, and it just, for this product to get there, then we just have to do it. So you might take some tough decisions. People might even see you as I don't want to use the word difficult, but you just can't even be difficult, because you're working with a team. But your no should be a no. You should be able to say no without feeling guilty. Yeah, I think that's the right word. You're able to say no without feeling guilty. So now, what are the challenges we face? Prioritizing with limited data. When you even go for interviews, this is something that interviewers will ask you. How do you survive as a PM with limited data? You want a product to be launched, but you don't have enough information. So sometimes you don't have the luxury of perfect analytics or enough user feedback. You have pushed out type forms, you have put out Google forms, you have interviewed, but the users have not even given you enough feedback to actually build the future you want, a feature you want, sorry. So it's hard sometimes to make decisions. So you have to make decisions based on maybe intuition, on or early signals or hunches. You just make decisions. You trust your empathy because you must be empathetic as a PM. So you just trust your empathy and over spreadsheet, not over the data that you're seeing. So sometimes you make that hard decisions. You know when to move forward and when to pause. So do we build this now or wait for more clarity? You ask yourself a lot of questions. And also managing conflicting options, sorry. You managing conflicting options. You are the bridge between design, DevOps, business leads, and users. You have everybody having their own lens, or you have to now bring everything together collaboratively. So a stakeholder is saying, let's have this feature. This design isn't feasible from an engineer. Is telling you a backend is telling you it's not feasible, or maybe a customer support is saying they want something totally different from what the support wants. A customer is telling you they want something different from what the support team wants. So you have to facilitate healthy discussions, not a discussion that will cause disunity among the team. So you have the right questions. You must always have the right question at the right time. So sometimes what I do is I just keep quiet in meetings. I try to digest what everybody is saying. Then I go back, ask everybody. I try to have a one-on-one meeting with my team. Then I can come up with a decision. So I make a decision and own it, and also respectfully. I work with other people's decisions. Even though I'm owning my decision, I still do not want to say, oh, that your decision isn't going to work, just to push people out. We think about it together and we come to a compromise. Walking through ambiguity, that's a very, very common one. Sometimes you're handed an idea that's half-baked or not even baked at all. You define the problem before solving it, and you ask why 5 times over. You keep asking why. You keep asking, you just have to keep asking questions, and you get comfortable not knowing everything upfront. It's like being handed a compass but no map. So you have a compass, you have the tool, but you do not even have a map on how to get there. So you lead the way anyway. Whether you know the way or you don't know the way, you just lead at the same time. But the beautiful thing about being a product manager is there are some moments that make you happy and the wins that make it worth it. When you see that you have something you helped shape come to life, something that just came as an idea coming to life. From wireframes to working features, you see a wireframe, a designer sending a wireframe, and you just see everything like that. Like it's not working, a prototype, you see everything, or maybe a flow diagram, and before you know, it becomes a true product. That gives you joy. So from a rough backlog item to a live solution. So these are things that will make you happy. Also, hearing real feedback from users. When a user says, this saved my life, this actually saved me hours every week. I always talk about WhatsApp. It's in as much as they might be able to do better, but you discover that people that are not techie can use WhatsApp. You can communicate with your aged parents with WhatsApp. And this it saves, it solves a problem. And this is something that keeps a PM going. When you hear that, oh, I finally understand my numbers thanks to this dashboard. I'm talking from experience now. Maybe I'm building a product now and it's helping, it's going to help people. Or like I say, it's been helping people, but we're optimizing it now. So when you see people talk about products Like, oh, this has made my life easier. Some few years ago, we couldn't communicate. You go from one city to the other, you can't even tell your family that you have arrived. But when the phones came in, it solved that problem. So exactly what we do. And that makes you happy. So impact isn't always measured in metrics. Sometimes it's in gratitude when people appreciate the little you have done. Right. Also, watching cross-functional teams thrive is something I love. I enjoy when I see that, oh, I've been able to at least be the glue, the dots connecting these people, because everybody has their own, they have their own mind. But now coming as a PM, standing in the middle and connecting the dots makes me happy. So as a PM, you're not just shipping features, you're helping people to do their best work. So you see designer light up. There was one of my designers that was so excited about what he built, because he wasn't even thinking when the project started, he wasn't thinking that way. He wasn't thinking that on that line. But now he looked at it like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so excited. This is looking beautiful. So a designer lights up with a great idea. An engineer push a creative workaround. Stakeholders finally feel heard, like, oh yeah, this is what we really want to push out to the public. So that's magic, and that's leadership without a title. And that's the conclusion of who a PM is. It's not about the title. I hardly even want people to call me. I only talk about being a PM. I think I talk about products more, or solutions, or pain points, than talking about the title. I rarely talk about the title, except I want to have a talk, I want to have a webinar like this. That's when I talk about the title. So it's not about the title, it's about what you have been able to solve. How can we get started? Now, the beautiful thing is there are a lot of opportunities out there for a product manager. And when I say you don't need to wait to be hired as a product manager to start thinking and acting like one, I mean it. I didn't start with a fancy title. I started by solving real problems. So create a problem, be curious, and build things. Build things. The skills you need can be learned, and the mindset you need, you might already have it. You might already have the mindset. So now these are steps that you can take. Learn the fundamentals. Start with beginner-friendly online courses so that you even understand, except you're already into it. But if you're a beginner, just try to understand it. Don't be in a hurry. That's the problem. Most of us are in a hurry. We want to be this. Don't be in a hurry. Start to understand. There's one course I actually did, PM Help. Honestly, it breaks down who a PM is. It makes you understand everything about product management. It's the simplest course I've encountered. I've done different courses, but PM Help has helped me a lot to understand it. The funniest thing, I didn't do that course at the initial stage. I did it when I was already into the field, and it's an amazing course, PM Help. And also you could go through Coursera with Jeremy, Google free courses and all, and you can read books. I've put some books here that you could read, and also join a community. Joining a community, Neo Labs community, is highly recommended, because having this free of charge, I know how much it costs me to how much I had to pay to go through this class. So if this is a webinar that is free to the community, honestly, join Neo Labs community, and it's highly recommended. I'm sure the host will talk about it at the end of the day. And there's another podcast I love listening, because at the moment I'm trying to improve on my product thinking, because I feel my product thinking needs to be worked on. Let me use that word. So I listen to Lenny's podcast. Lenny's podcast brings different product manager. And I listened to a lady, Abby Atawadi. She's been a product manager with Netflix. She's been a product manager with, she's an African, a product manager with Uber, with YouTube, and I've listened to many of them. And Nelly's podcast is one I would encourage you if you want to join a product community. Also, you could check Twitter, you could check LinkedIn, read and read and read, and also like virtual meetings we are having like this, attend webinars. Don't say I still attend webinars. I still join. I join projects that are different from my line. So sometimes I volunteer to work in other fields so that I can understand what is happening there. Also build something, anything. It could be just something to solve your own personal problem. Build it. Identify a problem in your world and solve it. Work with a designer or developer friend, just your friends. Talk about it and do it. You see, you'll be surprised that people are willing to work on projects. So build something. My final word is you can do this, and I'm rooting for you every step of the way. I'm really rooting for you every step of the way. And I want to say thank you for showing up, and also for taking out the time to explore something new. For some people, it's maybe you're already in it, and some are new. But for being open to a field where your voice, your perspective, and your background truly matters. As a product manager, you don't need to forfeit where you're coming from. It's a soft skill, and you can always build into the new field from where you're coming from. So I know how it actually feels. I spoke about my story because I told my story because I wanted you to understand that I started from the scratch. So you can start from the beginning. You don't have to doubt yourself. The moment of doubting yourself will come, imposter syndrome will come, but do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself. You have found yourself in that place for a purpose. So build. That's all I want to say.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ola. We are now going to go into the Q&A section of the evening. 1 second, if I can just steal the spotlight here. Perfect. Okay, so I did see some questions in the chat for yourself. So Andy says that they absolutely love Figma. And they want to know, do you do UX research tied to marketing and design patterns to influence features and product stickiness?
Okay, can I hear the question again?
Of course. Do you do UX research tied to marketing and design patterns to influence features and product stickiness?
Yes, because UX experience is very important, and research is the basis for any UX experience. If you don't, as a product manager, you must be good at research, and that's it. You must be able to go out there through interviews, through Google Form, through Typeform. You must be able to do all this, and this is what will determine how your features are being built. You are not building a feature for yourself, you're not building it for the product, you're building it for people. So user research is very important, and it's a tie to what feature is being produced.
Amazing. We have another question here from Jade. Would you say customer success management is a good stepping stone to product management?
Amazing, yes. Because you're doing yes, yeah, because you're working with people, you're going to be working with people. Your experience as a customer service is an edge for you, as a product manager, because you have worked with people, you have listened to people, you know how they think, your communication skill is already developed. So it's, yes, an amazing one. It's a very good stepping stone to being a product manager.
Amazing. Jade also has a follow-up question. Would you say starting as a Scrum Master is better than a customer success manager for getting into PM? Which one is better, or are they not, or they're equal?
All right, they are equal, because I wouldn't want you to go round and round, because if you're going to be a product manager, there's no way you will not meet Scrum. You're going to get acquainted with the role of a Scrum Master. You're going to get acquainted with Agile coach role. So there's no point, if you're already a customer service person, you don't need to now start from being a Scrum Master. No, just go. There's going to be, you can actually transfer your skills, because there's no way you will be a product manager without learning what it means to be a Scrum Master. I went through that route because I never even knew there was something called product manager. So I went through the Scrum Master role and I enjoyed it, but there was more to me. And I went. So if you actually have this opportunity to know that there's no point going through the Scrum Master role, then I don't think it's important. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Amazing. Your role does sound really fully loaded. It sounds like you have to engage with so many different people, but it also sounds like you really love it and you're really passionate about it. What would you say? Well, you've already said to just get started, but what would you say? What would you say was the biggest sort of culture shock for you when you then pivoted into being a product manager from being in Scrum or your other roles?
The culture shock was the fact that working with technical people actually means, to some extent, you have to understand their language. As a Scrum Master, I could facilitate a meeting. I just, there was little I needed to know, really. But as a product manager, developers, they are amazing people. You can't even fault them because they are technical people. They are thinking the technical way. They're talking about APIs. They're talking about different things. So it's made me understand that I needed to understand their language. So that was the first thing that was almost pushing me aside, but it also helped me. For instance, now I'm working on a startup and I needed to understand something about cybersecurity. I had to go dig out a course and understand cybersecurity. Not because I want to be a cybersecurity expert, but because I needed to understand I needed to understand it so that I could flow along with the developers as well. So the culture shock was that apart from when I was a Scrum Master, it was easier for me. I could facilitate the meeting, I could connect the team together. But being a product manager, you actually have to be able to understand their language.
Amazing, thank you. We have another question here from Andy, and they would like to know, what is your take on the role of AI in either doing some of your work or actually just as co-pilot?
All right. So people are saying at the moment that AI will take a lot of roles away from the market, but I'll tell you that AI is not going to take your job as a PM. AI is just going to help you. AI helps me a lot. Like, you can even, like, for the product, for the PRD, all you need to do is get an AI to tell the AI, okay, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is the problem. These are the users. How do I how do I um how do I bring this product requirement together and get something amazing? Even the APIs, you want to understand the API that your backend has sent to your front end, you can put it on ChatGPT and you get a very good explanation of what it's all about. So it's something, it's just going to be a co-pilot. You're going to use it and use it well for your role, and it makes the role easier now. You can research easily with AI. You can do a lot of things easily with AI now. You can code with AI. So I don't think it's not in competition. You're not in competition with AI. It's just going to help you to do better at your role.
I completely agree with you. I think I was at another event when someone said that, AI isn't going to take your roles away from you. AI is going to take jobs away from people who won't adapt to AI.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's not you losing your job to AI. That's just you losing your job because you haven't integrated it within your role. But I want to really thank you for tonight because you've gone so in depth with all this information. The presentation will be available and I will send it on to after the event. You will get an email with the presentation so you can, look at it even more and digest the information further. But for me, what I've taken from this, and if anybody wants to drop a comment in the chat or come off mute and say it out loud, what I've taken from this is that product managers have to have the bigger image, the bigger picture in mind at all times. You have to balance the needs of the user and also the needs of the business. But also, it seems like it's also a commitment to continuous learning as well. And you have to be a people's person. You can't be someone who doesn't like people and also be a product manager. And finally, my final takeaway from this is, and I absolutely love it, you don't have to be a technical person to be a product manager. You can, there's lots of transferable skills that you can have to start, at least get your foot in the door before you then commit to investing in upskilling and further learning. So thank you so much, Ona. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for breaking this down for us. Really, really do appreciate it. I'm sorry. Is there any more questions from anyone last minute? We can take one more question. Don't be shy. Everyone's shy. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so, West, you have your hands raised. If you want to come off mute and ask your question or drop your question in the chat. Good evening. You sound like you're really in the distance. Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, ma'am. Actually, my question is it's actually confusing me because I'm actually learning. I'm just starting off with front-end development and having some kind of controversies that front-end development is already, like, we already have a lot of people there. So, like, I don't need to start learning front end. I should look for something else. But this is what I actually have passion for. So should I just go ahead with what the rumors I've been hearing, or should I continue learning? And
You
also,
should
is AI
definitely
also,
go on.
Also, is AI going to take over our jobs as front end developers? Because I've been seeing some sites which some people said like it was built with AI throughout. So I don't know. And what can I also do to enhance my learning skills? Because I also feel sometimes I feel very depressed, like very tired of learning, trying to learn many stuff at once and so on. So I just need some help.
Okay. Well, first of all, you definitely do need to continue learning. If you are passionate about being a front end developer, please do continue learning. AI is not going to take your job away from you like that. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. AI will enhance your job, like we said before. Okay. And in terms of like what else you can do, because you feel really low about learning lots of things and just constantly having to learn, don't learn lots of things, specialize in something, and then you can, after you specialize in that one thing, you can then go ahead and specialize in something else. So break down your needs, your learning needs, into chunks and learn that way. I would also encourage you to get a mentor, someone who's already working as a front end developer, who can then show you the ropes, give you further insights into the role, and maybe even present you with opportunities. Okay. And then it also then feels like you're not doing this by yourself. So that would be my advice to you. In terms of like, if you do want to continue learning, Neolabs is here. Neolabs is here. We have bite-sized courses, bite-sized sprint courses that can help you to further your understanding within front-end development. And that's what we do here at Neo. So those will be my recommendations. I don't know if Ola has anything else she would like to add.
Yeah, I think you've said it all. But I will also say build.
Yes, build. Okay, build examples, showcase your talent.
Showcase what you have. You can't stop learning, but as you're learning, build. Just involve yourself in projects, showcase what you're doing, and you'll be surprised at where you are. AI is not taking anything, like Hannah said. AI is not taking your work. It's just going to enhance whatever you're doing.
Absolutely amazing. I hope that helps you, Wes, and I look forward to seeing an update on LinkedIn that you've started your own front end company, your own AI driven company. Okay. So just to like wrap things up, like I mentioned, we this tonight we've hosted it through Neolabs. Organized it through Neolab. So Neolab is our EdTech platform. Oh, Matt, Wes, you have another question? You're muted if you're trying to say something.
My last question here is actually talking about the having a mentor, because actually I'm just learning, like watching YouTube videos, watching trying to go on W3 schools. I don't really have someone that is kind of guiding me with what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to follow along with the industry trend. So how about getting a mentor? Like, how do I go about it? Because I don't have any. And that's why I'm here.
So we do run mentoring programs here at NEA, but unfortunately they're just for women. Sorry, but you can source your own mentor. Go on LinkedIn. Honestly, people are so open and willing to help and support. For instance, Ola only did this this webinar because I found her through, or she found the opportunity through LinkedIn. So get yourself a LinkedIn profile, connect with people who are already working at front end developers, and put yourself out there. Say that you're looking for a mentor. Do a post saying that you're looking for a mentor. Explain your situation, and you'll see how many people come back to you. Additionally, if there is someone working at a company that you would like to work for and doing the job that you would like to do, reach out to them on LinkedIn and just ask them. Okay?
All right, ma'am.
Okay, you have to put yourself out there. You have to ask for support. And what I really enjoy about working in the tech space is that because it's changing so rapidly and because there's so many opportunities within it, there are so many people out there who are so excited to share their knowledge and mentor others and support others to get opportunities.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We have another question here from, I'm going to absolutely butcher your name and I apologize in advance, but Steve?
Yes, yes, Tigsti.
Tijesty. What's your question?
I got a question about the, it's a product manager, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just starting it here and I don't have any idea about this um the courses. So what is going to be the future and how we going to work on it? I need to
Say
know
that one more
more.
time. You've gone really low. Say that one more time.
I say in this course, yeah, this uh manager product is so is it how we're going to work for this course and what is going to be the result after that? So I need to a bit more
Okay.
advice
So you want
for
to
how.
know where you can learn about being a product manager.
Yes, please. And
Okay.
how you give us some idea, yeah, I got, but it's my first, like, I just not with you in here, so I need a bit more explanation about what I do next and how I'm going to develop it.
Okay, so Ola has shared some resources in the presentation. So after this
Yeah,
event, when I share it, the
I
information will
will
be there.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Additionally, you can always sign up to Neo Labs as well because we will be putting out some product manager courses on there. So you can sign up to Neo Labs for that type of learning. And YouTube videos, even TikTok, you can learn through that. But what you need to know is what you first need to decide is the direction that you want to take. So, for example, Andy is determined to be the head of product, and they're taking the steps towards becoming the head of products. So, start with understanding sort of the route that you want to take, and also understand what skills you currently have that will allow you to transition into the role as a product developer, not product developer, as a product manager. So as Ola mentioned, you don't need to be technical to be a product manager, but there's lots of transferable skills. If you have interpersonal skills, if you have collaborative skills, if you can manage others, if you can work to a timeline, you can develop processes. Those are some of the key skills that you need to become a product manager. And once you're in the role, you can then commit to further learning, further development.
yeah. All
Is
right.
that
Okay. Yes. So I have to get through it and see how it's coming up. Yeah, and
yes?
learn. So how
Yes.
is the business part? Is it working online? Is it everything is coming online or like you can do it in the shops or you can work with someone is there, yeah? Like someone who is going to be we working with.
So if you mean Neo Labs is all virtual. All our courses are currently virtual. It's currently online.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
oh,
um,
yeah.
so as mentioned about, whilst we're talking about upskilling opportunities, we have just launched our She Builds campaign, which is an 8-week accelerator, focused on 4 key tracks to get into tech: product management, UX, UI design, front-end development, and back-end development. Unfortunately, Wes, this is still only for women, but the 8-week accelerator starts in September. So if you're interested, please do scan the QR code. I will send you more information in the email as well. Scan the QR code to find out more and find out how you can sign up to be part of the first cohort of She Builds. Okay. And just another plug from me. I'm sorry, we're wrapping up. We're almost done. We're a little bit over, but we're wrapping up. Our next event is going to be called, our next webinar is Women Who Freelance, Building Your Own Path in Tech. So if you're interested in what it takes to freelance in tech, this is our panel for the session. We have Precious, who is a front-end engineer and creative technologist. We have Adrienne Lowe, who is an event and business development expert, and she's also the co-organizer of Lovers of Black Theatre. And then we have Barbara Anthony Okafu, who is a revenue and partnership leader at Intuit MailChimp. So all these women have extensive experience in freelancing and also working within a technical field. So they will form our panel on the 19th of August, 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. right here on Google. So yeah, please do scan the QR code and register to attend the event. Okay, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Give it a few seconds. And then thank you. This is my final thanks. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. I know that we're a little bit over, but thank you so much. Thank you, Ola. Thank you for everyone who participated and added questions. If you have any more questions, please drop them in our WhatsApp community. You can also post on social media and tag us. But I would also like to invite you to complete our post-event survey and let us know what you think, what you thought of the event, and also suggest future events that we can also deliver for you. I really do appreciate your support. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a great evening. And I hope to see you at our next event. Okay, if we could just give a round of applause for Ola and her dedication and her presentation. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great evening. Bye. Bye, everyone. You're welcome. I hope that everyone found this as eye-opening as I did. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I